Welcome back to Shedhouse Motorcycles. Today on our channel for product evaluation, how-to videos and the restoration of motorcycles from the 70s, 80s and 90s, we've got the Colorado project. I've got a broken fog light and I'm going to replace it with an aftermarket LED fog light, and I'm going to show you how, so stick around. Welcome back to Shedhouse Motorcycles. As I said in the intro, I've got a 2014 Holden Colorado with a broken fog light in the opposite lock bull bar that's fitted to the vehicle. As the lens is broken, the light is inoperative, I'm going to swap it out using an Ironman 100mm LED light as a replacement to the original part. The light is 100mm, the same as the original light. However, the bracket that holds it is different, and we'll need to make some adjustments to this original bucket to make it work. Let me just get that out of the bucket. So we need to cut these ears off here and here on the other side. Then we'll weld this bracket onto the back of this plate. Then we'll fit the light back together, get it on the vehicle, and we'll be good to go. So hang around and we'll get started. So far I've put masking tape inside the bucket. I've put the original light back in its place. I'm going to mark this now with a marking pen, so when I fit the new light, I'll know that we're basically in the right place from a fitment point of view. So let's just do that. Whoops. So just a marker, just to give me an idea when I put the light back together that we're in the right spot. Then we'll get rid of the masking tape. Okay, the next part of the journey is to take the bracket off the light, and then, as I said earlier, we're going to cut this ear off, and then tack weld this bracket into its place, because to allow this light to be fitted to the bracket. Okay, so I've cut one side. Now we're going to cut this ear off here using the angle grinder. Right, and now having done that, we're going to put this bracket here across where the divots are in that old ear. To hold it in place, I'm going to use this piece of offcut steel, I think. I'll just have to, just to hold it in place while I weld it. Okay, so I've cut the metal to allow me to fit it here. I'm just going to put a couple of bolts here to hold it in place when I tack weld it to the plate. So we just want that to be vertical, lined up with these divots here. That'll give me an idea of where it should be vertical. I'm going to tighten that plate up. Okay, so we're in place. When I put this, just get the final adjustment sorted out, I need to take the safety glasses off, put my other glasses back on so I can see what I'm doing. So we just need to line that up so it's vertical or horizontal. Way off here. Need to get that sorted out. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm just going to tack weld into here and here using my little Mech Pro arc welder. I'm just going to use a very light rod, like a 1.6mm rod, because I just want to give it a tack to secure it. It doesn't need to be anything too severe. Can't show you the welding on camera, so I'll bring you back as soon as I've got that sorted out. Okay, so I've put it up and down, so that's all good. Next we're going to, excuse me, run some light. Okay, we'll pull that in with, so just push that back as far as we can go. Now before we worry about the adjuster, let's just make sure where it sits in the bucket. Okay, that's home. That's home, and you can see that the light is just a little bit proud of the original line, but by and large it sits pretty well in the bucket as the original did. So we're happy with that. We can get rid of the masking tape now. We know we're pretty right, and we can do the final adjustment on the vehicle. Okay, so I've put some epoxy glue here to hold it so we can do the adjustment. Not that there's a lot of adjustment on fog lights generally. This should be lined up pretty right, but in the event we have to give it a slight adjustment, we've got some purchase on the light to move it up and down. Some light wires to the light itself. I don't want to cut the original plug off the vehicle, so I'm just going to run some new wires, and then I'll splice into the loom on the vehicle, and then we'll fit the bucket back on, and we'll bring you back once that's done, because it's fairly boring. With just a case of light goes back into the bucket, there's a retaining bracket that goes on the back that holds it into place. You put the splash covers back up and job's done. So let's just get this done. Red to red. Crimp. Just to confuse everyone, black is earth on this, so black goes to white, which I'm going to make earth, and red will be our positive on the vehicle. So just a case of feed that back through the bucket, feed that through the adjuster area. That epoxy glue will go off while we're refitting it. Right, now on the back here, when you put the back plate in, it loads it up into the bucket, so we just want to make sure we pull those through to locate it into the bucket. We'll pull that up as at the end of the job. So okay, that's our light going back into the bull bar. I'll bring you back soon. There. So there we have it. The two lights are in place, working, operational, in the opposite lock bull bar attached to my 2014 Holden Colorado ute. I've used the Ironman 100mm LED light as the replacement light. Instead of the original equipment light, which was halogen, I've gone for LED. A fairly simple fit. It's taken me just over an hour to do the light. So, you know, you should hopefully be inspired to do the same to yours, should it happen. Welding is not my forte. However, I just tacked those brackets to each other to make it work. And the final part is I'll let that epoxy set, and then I'll do the final adjustment, but I'm pretty sure using that method around using the circle with the masking tape that they'll be. So, descriptions to all the products are provided below. The tools that I've used, I'll also provide descriptions where I can. Until next time, I'm Rowan. Stay safe, stay upright, and we'll see you soon on Shedhouse Motorcycles.